I'm going to start. I'm just going to display the website for now. Now, if you come to the product by purchasing it, if you purchased it already, you would have received an email, a very important email, so you need to hang on to that. That email has your download link to download the product. It also has your login credentials to log into our website. We actually have a login portal that you can use to gain gain access to your resources. Okay, so also I just had this up here because I wanted to mention that you may also, we may send you a link to download the product if you didn't download it from the website, or if you're.
Hey Don, I also wanted to mention, make sure that in your email system, whatever email program you're using, you whitelist MecSoft.com, especially sales@MecSoft.com and support@MecSoft.com, because you're going to be getting some emails once you buy the product from both of these email addresses. So if you don't whitelist this, all the emails might end up in spam, and so you might have an issue with that. That's very important. Thank you.
Okay. Also, Joe, I just recalled, I'm not sure if I have the actual license that we're going to use, the temporary license. It may populate when I load it, but if I don't, could you have that available for me, do you think?
Right. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so what I was mentioning is that if you purchase a product, you will get an email, and pay attention to that email. Make sure that it's not gone to your spam box. You will need to refer back to that email possibly at different times, during running your product. So you will get obviously what I just mentioned, you get a download link, you download the product. If you're not, for those who may have not purchased the product yet, I know you're not in that group, but I'm just going to mention this. You can actually download the product, the demo, from the website. So you can just go over here and just go into any one of the products, and you can download a demo. Now, when you download a demo, that's actually the full product, but it only runs in demo mode. So I'm going to leave this up. Let's go back to the home page. And what I'm going to do is I downloaded the product already. When you download it or get the download link, it'll download to your computer directly. Do not run any installer from a web browser. Download it to your hard drive so that you can run it from there. So we have the product right here, RhinoCAM for Rhino 8 installer, 64-bit. So I do not have RhinoCAM installed. I have Rhino 8. If you see down here, I got Rhino 8. You do have to have Rhino installed and running before you install RhinoCAM. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and run through the install, and always run it as administrator. So we're going to run it. And RhinoCAM 2024 for Rhino 8, which is going to go through the install. We're going to install it to the default path. It's a good idea to go ahead and install it to this path initially your first time, because you may have to refer back to this path for various assets. So I would leave that like that for now. We'll agree. And we're going to go install it. Again, if you have any questions, just put it in your questions panel.
Yeah, one of the things I wanted to talk about as the installer is running is RhinoCAM 2024 runs both on Rhino 7 and 8. And so when you're downloading, make sure you download the correct installer. RhinoCAM, we have installers for both Rhino 8 and Rhino 7. So if you install the wrong product, it's not going to run. So it's very important that you download the correct product. And number two, if you have both Rhino 7 and Rhino 8, well, you can install both products, and your license code will work. The same license code will work for both of those plugins inside Rhino. So then, of course, VisualCAD CAM, you don't have a problem because CAD and CAM are all bundled into one installer, so you don't have to worry about installing the CAD portion separately.
So it's finished installing. We'll hit finish. And you will see if you go to your Windows All Programs, you will see that you will have a folder, RhinoCAM 2024 for Rhino 8. Now I have other earlier products installed. This folder right here is new. And one good thing to mention here is if you may be sometime you may not want to run the product when you run Rhino 8. So there's an option here to load the RhinoCAM when Rhino starts, or to unload RhinoCAM when Rhino starts. Okay, so let's go ahead and run Rhino 8. Okay, so this is when you first run and when you first install RhinoCAM and run it for the very first time, it doesn't know that you have a license, so you will come up with this dialog, the Welcome to RhinoCAM 2024 dialog, and you have various options here, and we'll go through those. You can go straight in to activate your paid product if you have your license code, and that will be in, again, that will be in your email that you received after you purchased the product. But I did want to mention these other options here if you don't have a license code yet. So you can run the product in demo mode, and let's just do that. So what you see here is another dialog that basically has the different modules that you can run in demo mode. So you can run the mill module, turn, the art module, nesting, and our mesh module. And we have two additional modules here, profile nesting and the G-code editor. Now, what's important to note here is that for running the mill module, you can run which configuration that you want to run. For example, if you purchased a standard configuration, okay, and you want to know what's in the expert configuration, just go ahead and unplug your computer from the internet and run the product, and you'll come up in demo mode because it can't access your license, and you can just run the product in a higher configuration, and all of the operation types, all the toolpaths and everything is there. You can play around with it, see how it works. You just can't post, and you can't save your operations, but that's a good thing to know here. So let's go ahead, and we're just going to close this for a second. So when RhinoCAM came back up, so I lost that dialog, but in that previous dialog, I could show you that if I go up here and go from here, go to the help. So I can just talk about it. Okay. So this is the dialog that we had up. I showed you the run demo, CAM demo. You can also, as I mentioned, you can use the activation button and go ahead and activate your product. There's another button here for learning resources, and I'll show you those in a moment. And then there's a free mill product that you can run for free, very, very stripped down version of the CAM module. Okay, so let's go ahead there. So RhinoCAM came up. This is Rhino 8. You got RhinoCAM 2024 at the top, and you have a drop-down menu. This is your main menu, and this is where you load the different modules. As you can see, I've got the milling module installed, and when the milling module is installed, you'll have these two browsers that typically come up side by side. You can drag these around. Typically, we'll put it over here at the bottom. So this is the machining browser at the top, and this is the machining objects browser at the bottom. Basically, you have two tabs, the program tab and the simulate tab. Program obviously gives you access to all of the commands that you need to actually program a part, and then simulate all these options so you can simulate any operations that you have created. This dialog down here is basically for any type of objects that you want to create to work with in this session. And for example, you have a tools tab where you can create tools. You can add them to your tool library. The product actually has a tool library installed with it, so you can use that. And a regions tab, this is just a shortcut for allowing you to quickly generate or draw the regions that you're going to need to program a part. We're not going to really talk about this a lot, but it's covered in a lot of other videos. And then we also have a features tab if you do automatic feature machining. We also have videos on that. And then a K-bases tab, if you have created knowledge bases, you can load them in here, drag and drop operations up into your machining job, okay? So let's go ahead, and I've got to get it started in 3D right here. And let's go ahead and look at our license dialog. Okay, so Joe, I believe I closed that dialog in Teams for that license code. Could you?
I just texted you on Teams.
Okay, hold on a second. Looks like I closed my Teams. Could you text me that again?
Yeah, you can type it in if you want.
Okay, that'll work. That'll work.
NFR, capital NFR, underscore 3629, underscore example, underscore customer.
Example?
Uh-huh.
All caps?
All caps.
Underscore what?
Customer.
Customer. Caps?
Yes, sir. So what Don is doing is typing in the license code. We'll highly recommend not doing that. The license code will be sent to you by email. So just copy paste that.
Yeah.
I guess it's okay. Go ahead, Don.
Okay, so let's just register this. Now let's talk about this dialog here while it's up. If you're going to run it initially and it's not licensed yet, you obviously have a register button. You copy and paste your activation code here. Go ahead and register the product. Also, if you don't have an activation code, the program will come up in demo mode just like we showed you. And if you run the license dialog, you can actually request your activation code. Let's go ahead and do that if you happen to need to request it. So it'll load up your browser, and I'll take you to a form on MecSoft.com where you can fill it out and request your activation codes. And you'll receive those in an email. So that's any emails that you receive from us, do make sure that you keep them in a safe place and so that you can refer back to them. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and register it. So it's successful registration. We'll pick OK.